Hey everybody, this is David from Worship Online. I am the bass instructor here, as well as a touring musician and studio musician that has worked with a ton of great artists, such as Elevation Worship, Kari Jobe, Phil Wickham, Brandon Lake, Lauren Daigle, you name it. And today, I am so excited to go over my top 10 bass lines in worship music. Everything from gritty bass tone to really awesome feel. I'm gonna break down all these songs, why these songs are in my list, and what makes them so special. Now for each one of these songs on our list, we have a full playthrough tutorial, lesson, as well as charts and tabs. And to get access to that, just click the link down below. You can start your free trial of Worship Online that will give you instant access to these songs and hundreds more. So without further ado, let's look at number 10. Starting off this list at number 10, I have the song Wonder by HILLSONG United. And I wanted to start this off at number 10 because I wanted to just demonstrate what can make an awesome bass line. Doesn't always have to be fills, doesn't always have to be intricate parts. It can be what is the bass doing in the song that really sets the foundation. And for me, the bass line in Wonder, where it's locked in with the drums, if you take that bass line out of the song, you're gonna lose the momentum of the song because it's really just this pulsating bass line throughout the whole song, specifically in the verses where it really locks in with what the drums are doing. Just with this really simple part where it's just playing octaves, nothing too crazy, but like I said, it's just this really great line that if you take it out, you're kind of missing the forward momentum. And just like that, just anticipating starting on the octave of the root note, just like I said, gives it that punch and that feel. And not only that, but just awesome bass tone, driving with the pick, throwing some overdrive on it. Can't go wrong with that. The next song on our list at number 9, we got We Praise You by BETHEL Music featuring Brandon Lake. And this is such like a great guitar heavy song. You know, it's pick, bass, driving, you got some overdrive. And I think one of the elements that makes this really cool is the movement that the bass is doing, even though it's really sticking to what is needed, which is just really gritty pick driving bass, but it's still finding those little elements to really add some nice texture, whether that's the passing chords or just a couple fills that really bring out the attack of the song. And I think if you didn't do that, the song would be missing a really important feature. So whenever I play this song live, I'm definitely using a pick. I got some nasty overdrive, and it's truly a really fun song to play. So let's take a look just what the bass is doing on the intro and the verse, and just how of a really cool, simple, unique part that really makes a big difference in the song. So like I said, it doesn't have to be overly complicated for it to be a really awesome bass part. What the bass is doing, it's really utilizing the whole neck. It's not just sticking to one register. You got the bass playing down low, you got it jumping up high. There's a lot of texture to this bass line. All over the neck. For the verse, now we're switching to palm muting. Like I said, it's really that verse is just two chords. It's just an A to a D. but the bass line has got some really cool passing tones, some just really great movement just to kind of break up just the two chords of it all. It's a really great tasteful way to make a great bass line, even just for a simple song that doesn't require much. Now for number 8, I have Phenomena by HILLSONG Young and Free. And who doesn't love just a really awesome riff? This song is pretty much just a really killer riff throughout the majority of the song, but I really specifically wanted to look at the refrain, the intro, verse. It's all this really just killer bass riff with some fuzz bass. It's just really unique that you don't get to just play riff rock, you know, all the time in modern worship music. So let's take a look at Phenomena. I think it's such a fun riff to play, and like I said, it's not every day you just get to play bass riffs with some fuzz. So I got some fuzz going, got a pick. I detuned the bass down a half step since this song is in E flat, just makes it easier to play since you need that low E flat. So it's just really killer. Really hypnotic, like it just keeps going all the way up until the choruses where you're just kind of sticking to driving bass. But like I said, it's really fun, and the riff changes on the verses. And then on the refrains. So it goes from to making it from a major to minor, all in the same song, just by changing one note. I think it's a killer riff and such a fun song to play. All right, next up on our list at number 7, we have Egypt by BETHEL Music and Corey Asbury. So what makes this song really cool, in my opinion, is there's so many different dynamics throughout the whole song, and the bass is really adapting to whatever that part of the song is. A couple parts in particular that I really, really dig. A lot of BETHEL songs do this, but I think when it hits so hard, and it's great. It's a great bass tone for the chorus coming out of that bridge. The bass uses this really cool effect. I have it right here. It is called the bass microsynth. It's a really unique pedal. Basically, it's a sub-octave, it's a square wave fuzz, it has a high octave fuzz, clean bass in there. It's just this really cool pedal that makes a really unique sound. It's just such a great tool to have in your arsenal. So let's take a listen to that chorus right after the bridge.
Chorus. All in.
All right, so basically what makes this really cool, like I said, it's this overwhelming fuzz synth. Just really killer, takes up a lot of space. And what makes it really unique, it's playing an octave below. You have to be really creative with what notes you play. So a lot of times when you're turning on the microsynth, you're gonna be playing up the neck. So you still have some really cool, kind of like that mid-range kind of peeking through, as well as the low end and the fuzz just kind of circling around it, which I think is such a unique thing that bass players can do. You need to crank it to 11, turn on a microsynth. Another part of the song I think is really cool is after the song is kind of over, it goes into this kind of instrumental bridge section where it goes back into the bridge. And what I think is really cool about this, a lot of times when we're playing at church, we'll go back into a bridge, we'll go back into a chorus. You know, that's something that a lot of bands do. If the bridge was really great, you want to go back into it. And something that the bass does on this song that I think is really unique is it doesn't just play the same bass line as the previous bridge, because now we're basically going back to something that we've already done before. The bass takes a lot of liberty and some really cool bass movement on this part to really make this part feel like a whole new thing. So let's take a listen to the second bridge of this song. So yeah, so that bridge section, just kind of riding, just getting everything excited. Just really being creative with the melody, playing around the melody, playing a lot of fifths, just making the part, this building chord progression, just really unique and giving it a lot of energy. All right, so at number 6, I have What I See by Elevation Worship. Specifically, I wanted to talk about the interlude going into the bridge and why this really sticks out to me as a great bass line. For the most part, it's really just 3 notes, but how Shay, the bass player, utilized the melody with his playing is top notch, and it's really great. It's using fifths, it's using the thirds and fifths of the chords to really kind of follow the melody, really kind of Death Cab for Cutie-ish, if you know that band. Really great harmonics on some of these bass lines. And so yeah, let's check out the interlude of What I See.
Interlude, breakdown.
So yeah, let's break down what Shay is doing. Shout out to Shay Wooten, incredible person. Really great, super simple. Again, it's nothing crazy, but it really fits in the song really well, using a lot of fifths. And then the walk down using the 3. Like I said, very Death Cab for Cutie, and I'm always a fan of that. So like I said, the melody is using a lot of the fifths and the thirds. The bass is just really accenting that for this really cool building part of the song. And so that is why it is one of my favorite bass lines. All right, coming in at number 5, I have Believe For It by CeCe Winans. And what makes this song so great is just Jacob Lowry's bass playing, not just on this song, but listen to this record. It's just such a great live record. Incredibly tasteful bass lines. You know, it's a great combination of a lot of gospel music, a lot of modern worship, just kind of all blends so well together. And this song in particular, from the bridge, just with the great powerful hits, to the chorus coming out of that bridge, you got some really tasteful pentatonic fills that's just really just sets, his bass playing apart. So let's take a look at what Jacob's doing on the chorus coming out of the bridge. So like I said, he is the king of tasty licks, and he's taking a progression that is a really great simple bass line, but he's adding in those little elements of just really great pentatonic fills. Just really tasteful, really cool fills, just those like special moments that just take the song up a next level, especially if you're going back into a chorus or you're doubling a chorus. You got to add a little something extra, and he is so great at doing that, which is why Believe For It is at number 5. Coming in at number 4, we have Same God by Elevation Worship. It's not every day that the bass is carrying the melodic center of the verses and intro, but even it's the main featured instrument of the beginning of this song, which I think is noteworthy. And it's a really cool part because it's also utilizing some chorus, a little bit of reverb, some effects that you don't always see every day. I think it's really cool. So let's take a look at the intro of Same God. Now let's take a look at what the bass is actually doing for that. For this, I have a chorus going, and I've detuned the bass to get that open D, the D flat. So you can get that really nice, get those thirds. So we have such a unique part, and it's really cool. While the rest of the band's just kind of droning that one chord, you can play up high and just play this really nice melodic intro, and even in the first verse the bass is carrying that through that. And there you go, that's Same God by Elevation Worship, coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, we have Man of Your Word by Maverick City Music. Another great bass intro. I think it's such a cool part at the very beginning of the song. The bass is kind of hinting at the melody that's to come, as well as following the piano. It's just such a really cool way to start a song, and it just kind of gives it this really fun, fresh feel. So let's take a look at the intro of Man of Your Word. All right, so right from the top of the song, the bass has really got this. Just such a cool, fun song. And the other really great part, going into the chorus, it's just got this great groove that I think is just as important as being able to play the fills, the riffs. You have to be able to still utilize the other part of the instrument, which is the groove of the song locking in. So let's take a look at that chorus. If you said it, we believe it. You gotta believe it. You gotta receive it. If you said it, we believe it. 'Cause you're a man. You're a man.
Chorus.
Of your word. If you said it, we believe it. The chorus just grooves so well. You just have that, it's really simple. you know, just kind of gives it this really great bounce. I could just sit in that territory all day. It's just so fun. You don't need to do these crazy things to really make a part super special. And there you go. That is Man of Your Word by Maverick City Music, coming in at number 3. All right, coming in at number 2, we have Come Right Now by PLANETSHAKERS. And this song is a doozy. It's really fun to play. It's crazy. The whole song is unrelenting on bass. Great bass player at PLANETSHAKERS. A lot of slap bass, a lot of very specific fills that match what the drums are doing. There's drum fills that the bass player is following. There's so much going on in this song, so I had to put this on here. And a funny story about this video, when I was shooting the tutorial for this, it took so long for me to get this down in one take, because when we shoot these videos, it helps the video editors out if I can just get it in one take, so there's not a lot of cutting. So it took me so long just to get every single part as right as possible in one take, to the point where finally, late in the day, I finally got the take, and after the fact I found out that I recorded the video out of focus. But I was just so fried. I was like, sorry, there's nothing I can do. I was like, I'm so sorry. I was the one shooting video. After a million takes, I got the right take, and it's out of focus. It's a funny joke me and the video editors have, because they saw how much I was struggling. They were like, don't worry about it. It's just funny. It's a funny story with this song. Let's take a look at verse 2 of Come Right Now. So it's totally such a crazy song to play on bass. It's a lot of slap. You know, even just playing just regular slap bass, it's still a workout. But if you add in all those fills, just all the little syncopated parts, it's just a really crazy bass line. It's really fun to play. Glad I learned it. Glad I don't have to track it ever again. So that's Come Right Now at number 2. All right, finally, at number 1 of my personal favorites. It's a song I grew up playing. It is so fun to play. It's a great song. You don't hear a lot of these types of songs made anymore, and so it's very near and dear to my heart. At number 1, we have You Are Good by Israel Houghton. So what makes this song super special and really unique is, honestly, it's just listen to the whole song. Like, it's every part has a really, really cool bass line to it. It is the intro has a really cool up high bass part. You have the instrumental section in between the chorus and the verse. It just has this awesome slap bass. You have really awesome fills. You have a little bit of everything in this song, between melodic, slap bass, just solid groove. It has a little bit of everything in this, and it's one of the GOAT worship songs of all time. First, let's take a look at what the bass is doing on the intro.
Intro, all in.
Such a cool thing. I grew up playing this song in church, growing up when we had choirs and orchestras and all this stuff. This is a staple. And 10, 15 years later, I'm tracking this song for Worship Online, and there's so many elements that I was like, I've never heard that before. It's so cool, like that, even the intro. Even just stuff like that is so great. Just over that open E. Just really great, like little fills. Next thing we're gonna look at is just this killer breakdown. Right after that massive first chorus, band just goes into this little little break, the bass just is playing this killer slap line. Let's take a look at that.
Interlude.
You are
Verse.
I mean, even just that breakdown, even just that in and of itself, going from this like killer major sounding chorus and then just going into this flat 7. Just a really killer groove, and then all the little fills in there. It's just such a really, really awesome just breakdown. You know, just the bass has just gotta laying it on there. I don't know how else to say it. It's just killer. And then obviously, you know, this whole song, the verses and choruses, major groove town. This song had to be #1 because I'm sure you can still find churches today playing this song because in 2023, song still slaps. So that's why You Are Good is #1. And there you have it. My top 10 bass lines in worship music. Everything from really awesome fills to great tone and just killer grooves. All of these things make up awesome bass lines. And if you have a favorite bass line that maybe wasn't on this list, but could be in future lists, comment below what your favorite bass line is. And if you wanna save a lot of time learning these bass parts for Sunday morning, you wanna have access to the tutorials, to the lessons, to the tabs and charts for all the songs that we listed today and hundreds more, click the link below to worshiponline.com and start your free trial access. I'll see you there.